and we welcome in Jim Nantz. Jim, welcome. How are you?
Good morning. There'll be a few points on the board here later today, I know.
Yeah, I think there will. And, it's funny. This game would have gotten a lot more attention, although nothing will get any attention in the league this week with what's going on in Miami. But if they could have gotten in from the 6-inch line, and I was watching the end of that game. They reversed it, obviously, as everyone knows now. And then the play calling, I'm sure, came under high scrutiny in San Diego all week, how they did not get the ball in from the 6-inch line.
Well, it had a good 3-day lifespan. I would say by late Wednesday, early Thursday, they were finally starting to transition to the fact that they had Peyton Manning coming to town. But really was a lost opportunity for the Chargers, who have had a couple of games slip away this year at Tennessee and their first game against Houston.
Yep.
I mean, I think they've outperformed what anybody thought they would.
Other than the Raider game where they played terribly, they could have won every game they played this year, and they've played very well, and Phillip Rivers has played very well.
The one thing I want to say about the end of that Washington game, and they didn't realize it until they went back and looked at it later. Of course, there was the reversal on the Danny Woodhead. Did he touch the pylon? Did it go across the pylon? And, of course, they ended up spotting the ball at the 1. That was a bad spot. That ball should have been just inches from the goal line. If you went back and we watched the tape all week long.
I thought they called it 6-inch line. Did they?
No, they marked the ball at the 1.
Yeah, they did.
They marked it straight at the 1. I mean, listen, I'm seeing more and more, for whatever reason, as wide open as the league is and as many points are being put up every week, we're seeing a lot of great goal line stands. That last yard to get across now.
Hey, these teams are not equipped. They're not equipped anymore, Jim. They don't play that way, so they're not equipped to get 1-yard gains. I think you see it in college, too, with these spread offenses. If they get inside the 5, they can't score.
They can't figure it out.
We had it
in the New England-Pittsburgh game last week. And we're seeing it a lot. But still, you mark that ball where it should have been. That's a little, that's more than just a little bit of a difference there, being inches away versus being a full yard out.
Yeah, and listen, very tough loss for them, absolutely. They made a great comeback in that game. They were down a couple of scores. They made a big rally. They came back. Now they get a game where, hey, listen, they are right there with about 7 other teams for the second wild card. It's very easy to see the 1 and the 5 are going to come out of Denver and Kansas City. We know that. One's going to be the 1, I think, and one's going to be the 5. So, I mean, because either Denver beats Kansas City or Kansas City's easily the 1. So, either way, I think you're looking at Denver wins or Kansas City wins. So, the one of them gets the 1, the other one gets the 5. And then the 6 is wide open. There's like 7 teams that could get the 6.
No question, San Diego has a very big uphill climb.
Very tough schedule. Very tough schedule.
Brutal. This is a tough division. I don't think anybody saw it. Last year, after you got past Denver, the other 3 teams won fewer games the whole year long than those 3 teams have won already at the halfway point of the season. So, I mean, you got the worst team in the league is 3 and the division is 3-5. And you got San Diego at a respectable 4-4, as we said, could be better. Of
no
course,
question.
Kansas City's just gone off the charts so far. So they're winning like at a 70% clip in this division, and when you talk to the Chargers, they think they need to go 6-2 the back half of the year. That's going to be tough to do. 2 games again.
Very hard. How did you find the new San Diego coaching staff?
Impressive, very impressive. And Mike McCoy, I've been a fan of his for a couple of years because of what I saw him do in Denver. First off, he was able to adapt the Denver offense to Tim Tebow, to his strengths and weaknesses. And, that was the year, of course, they won a playoff game and beat Pittsburgh on that first play of the overtime. And then the next year come back and install and completely go opposite and go with the Peyton Manning offense. That had everybody's attention in the league. There was no question he was going to get a head coaching job this year. Basically, he had his choice. And now not until I kind of got into the week here and started talking with San Diego people and talked to Sims and the whole thing about it, you really look at San Diego, and this is, if you will, a poor man's version of the Peyton Manning offense at Denver. They're doing a lot of the same things. And, Rivers is putting up some phenomenal numbers.
Yeah, he is.
You look at what
they don't finish as well. That's the only thing. They don't get in the end zone as much. Manning gets the team in the end zone. That's the difference.
Let's take the skill positions, okay, and just let's say for a minute that it's not totally the up-tempo Denver offense, but it is got some of the same DNA.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Rivers instead of Manning, and and Phillips had a very, very good career.
And we have about 1 minute left. Second on what New England did last week. I mean, for the proud Steeler defense to sit through what went on and to have that happen to them, my God, did that game turn unbelievably ugly in the fourth quarter.
Something is seriously flawed in that secondary and that defense. They don't tackle anybody. They're not just barely out of position. They're on the opposite side of the field. I mean, look, there are some guys back there that you might think are Hall of Fame credential. Well, one guy, Troy
yeah, and they're not playing worth a darn. We know that. I mean, he's playing terrible. Clark and Palomalo are playing terribly.
And once somebody gets into the secondary, nobody tackles anybody anymore.
Yeah, I tell you, if they don't respond with a huge effort at home today, they're going to give up 1,000,000 points the second half of the season.
Well, Tomlin marched into that press conference after that game last week at Gillette and said, we're just going to start making changes here. You're not going to make an effort, you're not playing. It's a weird thing. It just almost feels like give up.
It is. Hey, listen, let's be honest. What you saw in the fourth quarter last week was. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, my God. I mean, that's a Steeler team giving up all those points and all that yardage. It was unbelievable.
Roethlisberger brings him back in the third quarter.
Yep, it's 24 up. You think you got a great game.